Could Dogecoin really skyrocket to $6? That's the big question swirling around the crypto community right now. Some analysts and investors believe it's not just possible, but actually within reach if certain conditions line up. Others say it's pure hype. Another round of meme-driven speculation with no real foundation. In today's video, we're going to break this down in detail. We'll cover what's happening with Dogecoin right now, why it's suddenly back in the headlines, what's fueling predictions of a massive rally, of course, the risks you need to be aware of. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also walk you through what needs to happen for that ambitious $6 target to even be realistic, and what levels you should keep an eye on in the short term. Whether you're a Dogecoin believer, a skeptic, or just curious, you'll leave this video with a clear picture of the road ahead. What's happening now? So let's start with the present. Dogecoin has been on an impressive run lately. Over the past week alone, it's jumped more than 30%. And it's been trading around the 28 to 30 cent range. This sudden burst of energy isn't random. We've seen a surge in institutional interest. One of the biggest stories fueling this rally is that Clean Core Solutions has started accumulating Dogecoin for its corporate treasury. They've already scooped up around 500 million Doge and have plans to increase that to $1 billion within the next month. That's not just a casual investment. That's a serious commitment that shows confidence in Dogecoin's long-term value. On top of that, there's growing speculation around a Dogecoin exchange-traded fund. Yes, Doge ETF, which could allow traditional investors to gain exposure to Dogecoin through a regulated product. Add to this the fact that trading volumes have spiked. Technical indicators are flashing bullish signals, and you've got a recipe for major excitement: the big price targets. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: price predictions. Analysts are throwing out some pretty bold numbers. In the near term, targets between 40 cents and $1 are being floated. That might sound ambitious, but given Dogecoin's history of parabolic moves, it's not entirely. But then there's the really big number: $6. Some commentators believe that under the right circumstances, Dogecoin could surge that high. Think about it. From today's levels, that would represent nearly a 20-fold increase. It sounds wild, and it is, but this is crypto. We've seen similar moves before with both Dogecoin and other coins. The real question is, what's fueling these expectations? What's driving the optimism? There are a few key drivers behind the bullish sentiment. First, treasury accumulation. Clean Core's move to build a massive Dogecoin reserve is a signal that large entities are starting to treat Doge as more than just a meme coin. That kind of buying pressure reduces supply in the open market and builds confidence. Second, the speculation around a Dogecoin ETF is huge. If an ETF is approved, it opens the floodgates for institutional investors and everyday traders. You don't want to deal with crypto wallets and exchanges. We've already seen how ETFs have supercharged demand for Bitcoin. So imagine the impact if Dogecoin got that same treatment. Third, technical analysis is leaning bullish. Dogecoin is breaking out of triangle patterns. Volatility indicators like Bollinger Bands are showing expansion. And historically, these setups have preceded major rallies. And finally, whale activity is reinforcing the narrative. We're seeing big wallets moving Doge off exchanges, which often signals accumulation by strong hands rather than speculative flipping. The risks: what could go wrong? But let's not get carried away without looking at the other side of the coin. Dogecoin still faces serious risks. For one, supply. Unlike Bitcoin, Dogecoin has no hard cap. New coins keep entering circulation, and if demand doesn't consistently outpace supply, it puts downward pressure on price. Then there's regulatory uncertainty. Yes, the idea of a Doge ETF is exciting, but approval isn't guaranteed. Regulators could easily reject proposals or drag out the process, cooling momentum. Another risk is sentiment. Dogecoin has always been fueled by community hype, celebrity tweets, and viral memes. That's powerful, but also unstable. If hype dries up, so can the price. There are also technical risks. Dogecoin needs to break through strong resistance levels. Otherwise, traders could start taking profits and momentum could stall. And finally, macroeconomic factors play a role. Things like interest rate changes, stricter crypto regulations, or broader market downturns could all slam the brakes on this rally. What needs to happen for $6? So let's get back to that headline number, $6. What would it take for Dogecoin to actually reach that level? First, institutional demand would have to be off the charts. Not just clean core, but multiple large firms and funds would need to start holding Doge in their treasuries. Second, a Dogecoin ETF would need to not only be approved, but actually attract massive inflows. Third, macro conditions would need to stay favorable, meaning crypto-friendly regulations and a strong global economy. It keeps investors willing to take risks. Fourth, Dogecoin's technical patterns would need to hold strong, with each breakout leading to sustained gains instead of quick pullbacks. And finally, the Dogecoin community would need to fuel another wave of cultural momentum, driving adoption and keeping Doge relevant in the public eye. Put all of that together, and yes, $6 becomes possible. But without those ingredients, it remains a moonshot. Key levels to watch. For now, let's focus on the levels that really matter. The 25 to 30 cent zone is the current battleground. If Dogecoin can establish solid support there, it sets the stage for bigger moves. The next targets are around 40 to 50 cents, where major resistance sits. Breaking through that could open the door to a run toward $1, which would be a psychological milestone. Beyond that, it's all about whether institutional demand keeps growing and whether catalysts like the ETF approval actually happen. Keep an eye on Treasury announcements, ETF filings, and whale activity, because those are the signals that can tell us if Dogecoin is gearing up for something bigger. Conclusion, call to action. So here's the bottom line. Dogecoin is looking stronger than it has in a long time. Institutional moves, Treasury demand, technical breakouts, and ETF speculation are all fueling momentum. But while short-term gains toward 50 cents or even $1 seem within reach, if momentum continues, the idea of $6 remains highly ambitious. It would require perfect conditions, massive institutional demand, regulatory green lights, technical follow-through, and, of course, the unstoppable energy of the Dogecoin community. Whether you're invested, trading, or just watching from the sidelines, this is a fascinating moment for Doge. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you're watching the key resistance levels, monitoring ETF news, and tracking whale movements. And of course, stay grounded. Because as exciting as Dogecoin is, it's still volatile and unpredictable. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you think Dogecoin has what it takes to climb to $1? Or do you believe $6 is actually possible? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, subscribe for more crypto updates, and ring the bell so you never miss a story. Because trust me, the Dogecoin ride isn't slowing down anytime soon.